Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So Ethereum is also breaking out currently out of this descending wedge together with Bitcoin, and also with Ethereum we have here the view and the opportunity to move higher in line with the Elliott Wave count, and also not only the Elliott Wave count, but also this kind of descending wedge is showing us that the breakout should be to the upside. Of course, it's never guaranteed to happen like that. Currently it is looking like that, but bear in mind we also had a fake out here where we moved above that resistance level of the descending wedge, and in the end we did not break out on a sustainable basis. It was only a fake out during the day, so always be aware of that. So I guess until we have really a daily candle close or at least a 4-hour candle close, the probabilities are still that we drop back into the wedge. However, this is currently the 4-hour candle close that is going to close in a few minutes. So when you watch the video, the 4-hour candle will have closed already. And what we then are looking for is possibly a retest, ideally of that previous resistance level, which will then be flipped ideally as support, because that would support us going higher into this green target area here that is currently located between $3,050 and $3,260. That can shift a little bit depending on where the low of the wave 1 will really be. So I'm going to update you about that in further videos. If you don't want to miss anything, then definitely subscribe. At the moment it is working out as expected. At the moment we are moving up here, but as I said, we've only have the 4-hour, we don't even have a retest yet, so it's just at the moment one potentially positive signal. I mean, what we have done certainly is a first higher low compared to that previous swing low here from end of April. So that is certainly not a bad sign. We have a first higher low, and throughout this whole downtrend, obviously we don't really have higher lows here. We had a bit of one here, which again then was only followed by a lower high, so it didn't really break the downtrend. Now we have another opportunity to do it. We have the opportunity to make a higher low and a higher high. But to do so, the price needs to break above the current level. That is pretty much where we are currently, so around 2,870. You can see that if I zoom in a little bit here on the 4-hour chart, you can see that is the previous swing high that the bulls are currently fighting with. That is the next logical resistance level after breaking out of such a wedge. You need to move above the previous rejection point, and that would be at 2,880 roughly. If we take the top of that wick, currently it's looking good. Our green candles are getting higher and higher, but overall we are still in a downtrend. And even if we make here this, even if we make it into the green target area, this does not overall break the downtrend. It's actually part of that downtrend. Corrective moves up, as indicated here from the last few videos with that red arrow to the upside, they are just part of a downtrend as well, because you have impulsive moves, and you have corrective moves. And in every trend, let's say we are in a downtrend, you will have impulsive moves which go into the direction of the higher level trend, indicated here by waves 1, 3, and 5. And you have corrective moves which are typically shorter, less strong, and you only have 2 of them, which are wave 2 and wave 4. This is based on the Elliott Wave count. This would make sense as well, because you can only come down that much before you get a corrective move up, and the target for that corrective move up, as I said, would be in the region between 3,050 and 3,250. It is based on some Fibonacci retracement levels, and it can shift a little bit depending on if we go any lower, and should we drop back into the wedge, and we could even see a little bit lower prices within the wedge. But now that we are breaking out, this is important, this is interesting. I mean, overall, what we need to say throughout the day until we really have that Fed decision, and that will be only in a few hours. I think we still have a few hours to go. Around, I think it starts at 1:30 Eastern time, PM. But I think we won't really have the decision until 4:30. We'll see. Or it might be at 2 o'clock. I think the press conference really is starting. So, you have the paper released and so on. So I think at around 1:30 Eastern time, you're going to see some volatility, and maybe even already a little bit before that. So that's typically a few hours of volatility. and the market is just holding off. We see no real change in volume, because what you want to see after such a breakout, you want to see a little bit of volume as well. But yeah, overall, if I zoom out, you can see the trend is still down. Probably need to zoom out a little bit further. And yes, even though we made here higher highs and higher lows in this sort of channel to the upside, this was only an ascending wedge, which also confirms basically the rather bearish Elliott wave count here, where we made a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 would be down. Yeah, and again, you have waves within waves. We would be, as per this count, currently be in the first wave still of that last 5-wave move down. So there is much more to come, and it could even take us all the way down to $650. I talked about that in the last video, but only if we break below $1,700. For now, I still think primarily the $1,700 should hold. That is the wave where we had the start of that wave here, end of June. So if we get below that level, first of all, not only you get a massive head and shoulders on the chart, but you also drop below the beginning of that impulsive wave up, and that would invalidate that. And then we have to zoom out, go to the higher level wave count, start the Fibonacci levels much lower, and then you can get down. The price target would then be that level. But primarily, I still think we should end above the $1,700 level. Nevertheless, whatever happens, in my view, the downtrend isn't over yet, and we are still going to see lower prices. The only way to get to temporarily higher prices would be if Ethereum moves above $3,580. That is the peak of the wave 4 here. Should we really get above that level, then higher prices will be unlocked. But at the moment, the way it's looking for me, this would also only be a corrective move up, just a larger one, and we would then move down again. Yeah, so this is obviously still open. I cannot really see that at the moment. It does not look like that the low is already in, or the low was already in. Also in line with what I expect for Bitcoin, because for Bitcoin I still expect also the correction to finish and to go much lower. Bitcoin has not finished its correction yet. I remain here with my view. So also for Ethereum, in line with that, and also in line here with the Ethereum wave count, we can expect lower prices, as we have been saying since November. Okay, and overall, however, short-term upside possible, as I said, into that region between 3,050 and 3,250 US dollars. Let's take a look on the daily chart here. Also here, very similar to Bitcoin, we are going to get probably a bullish crossover. The MACD line is already turning around down here. To do that, we need to see a little bit further upside, maybe fueled by an interest rate decision which might be in line with expectations, which is 50 basis points. Last time we had an interest rate increase in line with expectations, so what the market expected. We also saw some upside, so that is what could give it a little bit of a boost here, where we could then get that bullish crossover, and that could take us into that green target area there between 3,050 and 3,250 US dollars. The stochastic RSI also going up, indicating the uptrend at play here, and also the RSI, the relative strength index, going here a little bit higher. Nevertheless, it's still in the bearish range on the daily chart. But so far, with that breakout of the wedge, it is going according to plan. Yeah, we talked about the probability, the higher probability to break to the upside, and also in a wave 2, in a corrective wave up, to get into that area. But for that, we now need to maintain that level and stay above the wedge, previous resistance, now support level of around $2,820. Okay, that's my view about Ethereum. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership, and maybe even check out the trading course that I'm currently publishing on my website. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.